Hello everybody, my name is Wilbur and welcome to episode 4 of the Geek'd Out Podcast, a podcast about video games. And as you can tell by today's title, we are discussing the top 5 games of 2020, and I have probably the best guest to do it with. You know him as the OG Geek'd Out man himself, Mr. Lionxv I. How you going today, mate?
I am all good, cheers man, thank you for having me back.
There is literally no one else I would want to do this particular episode with. And then you said you're on holidays, and I was like, oh my god, it just works out perfectly.
It's all coming together.
How was your holidays going, by the way?
All good. Lots of Christmas shopping done, lots of gaming done as well. So, and I managed to make a stream, which is always good.
Hell yeah. It's always nice when you pop in. I'm like, oh, Lion's here.
Yeah.
That's awesome, my friend. So we are going to be talking about our personal top 5 games of 2020, and we do not know each other's lists, just like last year. But we're going to start the episode the way we sometimes, mostly always do, with what we have been playing. So, Lion, what have you been playing this week, or any week, really?
I've just been playing a lot of different stuff, really. I've been playing the Xbox Game Pass a lot.
Yes.
I've been just looking at all the new games that are coming out on there and just trying them because there's no downsides to just having a look and seeing what they're about.
The Xbox Game Pass is probably the best value in gaming at the moment. Like, there's literally something for everyone. Sea of Thieves is on there. All the new Xbox and Microsoft games come out on there. It's amazing. I love it. Is there anything in particular you want to talk about?
I've been playing the Halo series a lot. Just played that through with a friend because it's brilliant for, like, if you and a friend don't know what to play and you've both got the Game Pass, it's just loads to pick from because you know you've all got those games. Yeah,
I need to play those Halo games because I only played, I think I said in a previous podcast episode, I only played Halo Combat Evolved, and all the Halos are on there now, pretty much, I think.
Yes.
And they're all culpable. So I'll have to get onto that. Maybe I'll do like a Halo marathon before whenever Infinite comes out. Who knows when that's coming out? Next year sometime.
Yeah, Halo stream.
Also, a really good game that came out in early access this year is Grounded, and that is also on Game Pass. Yes. And I haven't played that in quite a while. I'm sort of just waiting until they just add a whole bunch of stuff. I might actually wait until they do like a final release before I jump back in.
I made that mistake with Subnautica where I just played it bits at a time. Yeah. And I regret it since playing it because I wanted the full experience of it, which is why I'm not playing Grounded. Yeah,
I did that with The Forest. I remember when The Forest came out early access and I played little bits and pieces when they added stuff. But as you know, that didn't hinder my experience with that game. That was so good.
It was still a lot of fun.
Also, Ark. I did that with Ark because that had a pretty long early access thing. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till Grounded comes out 1.0. It's a really fun game. If you haven't tried it, maybe jump in and try it. See what you think. I think it's gonna be a really good game by its full release.
Yeah, definitely. Well worth waiting for.
The games I have been playing, to no surprise to anyone, is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Such a good game.
Lion joined us last night. It was good fun, and I remembered why we didn't invite Lion back to the boat. A lot of fires. A lot of him looking at me while holding a firebomb. It was good fun.
Yeah, and buckets of sick.
Yeah, make yourself sick, put it in a bucket, throw it in my face.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is great. I love it. I can't wait to see what they do next year. There's big talks about some big things coming. I think I discussed in a previous video that I did on youtube.com/WilburSprinkle that yeah, good plug. There's a Sea of Thieves content creator called Captain Falcor, and he does a lot of like Sea of Thieves lore stuff. It's fantastic. Definitely check him out. And he made a video like a few weeks ago saying that the Sea of Thieves partners, they get told sort of what's coming or like a hint at what's coming, like before anyone else does, even before insiders. And he said, he's like, what I know, and I can't say it. He's like, what I know will blow your mind. And I'm like, you can't just leave me like that.
No, that's mean. It's cruel.
So he got like really hyped. He didn't even tell us anything, and I got super hyped for it. And then he said like this weird like cryptic like poem at the end of the video that I'm like, oh man, that could mean anything. But yeah, he's basically like, I can't tell you guys, but what's coming next year is really good. So hopefully it's something really good or something worth the mystery, because they're doing a lot of changes next year with the the plunder pass seasons. It's going to be a pretty good year, I think.
Oh, nice. I do like the events.
Yeah, the events are fun. I think the events are good for just giving you something to do, basically, when there's no one to murder.
Yeah, and if there's like a season pass equivalent of the event, so that's fair.
Yeah, they're sort of like shoving everything. They're giving like a plunder pass, which is like the battle pass. They're giving you events and little seasonal things. So they're just like throwing everything at you. So we'll definitely have to keep our eyes open for, you know, hopefully the cosmetics are good. I just want some good swords.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely don't want anything that would affect actual gameplay balance to be changed. You know, the upgrades and stuff. I'm happy as it is.
Yeah, I don't think they ever will do like things to make one player better than the other. I think a lot of people would really complain. I would probably personally complain because I'm choking. Oh my god,
choking on your rage.
Just thinking about it makes me angry.
Oh, calm down, man. Calm down.
What was I saying? Yeah, because the good thing about Sea of Thieves is that it's based on your skill, your personal skill.
Yeah.
And your ability to gather resources.
And your knowledge of the game.
Yeah, so that's when you come across you definitely know when you come across a new player, so.
Yeah. Which is fun to pretend to be every once in a while.
I do that too. I'm going to take off my gold curse, but you pretend to be like new. Oh, it's so good. Oh,
I had a guy challenge me to like try to show me all this stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I'll teach you how to fight with a sword." So I just kicked the crap out of him.
You start blocking sword dash, and he's like, "Whoa, how do you do that?"
Yeah,
we had these
sidestepping.
You saw in that stream we had those kids try to 1v1 us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, we'll just do swords," and it's like murdered him. He's like, "What? How do you do that jumpy sword dash thing?" And I'm like, okay, poor kids.
Sit down. Uncle Wilby's going to teach you.
I'll teach you all about the sword. But other than Sea of Thieves, Lion, have you been watching The Mandalorian?
I haven't, purely because I only watch them seasons at a time.
Oh, really?
Because I like to binge watch, yeah. So I have to avoid spoilers like the plague.
Oh, my God.
That saying has gone out the window this year, because apparently people don't avoid the plague anymore.
No. I think people avoid spoilers more than they avoid the plague.
Yes, yeah. And people are less willing to spread spoilers than they are the plague. So I've got to avoid them. But once I do, I just binge watch stuff.
So the season finale of Mando came out last night, and I watched it with the lads.
Yeah.
Fantastic season. I think it's better than season 1. Like, season 1 was fantastic. Did you watch season 1?
I did, yes. Yeah.
That was so good. I think this season is a lot better. I'm just sad. Like, I was like you. I kind of can only binge shows now, and this one came out weekly, and it's the first time, I think, since a long time that I've actually liked that, because I'd watch like one episode, and I would like sit on that one episode for the week and think about it and let it like...
Yeah, if it's enough to think about during the episode, then you don't mind waiting, do you?
Yeah, it gave me time to like absorb the one episode and the story that they're telling, and it was like that with Game of Thrones too. Like I honestly think The Mandalorian is the best show since Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's like that with the Umbrella Academy as well.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that. I'll have to try it again.
Could you not? Yeah, it's well worth it, I think.
I think I maybe finished most of season 1.
Yeah.
But apparently it doesn't get good till season 2. Like, there's good time travel stuff.
Yeah, it gets really good, yeah.
I might have to give it another go. Because I do like time travel stuff.
Yeah, and it doesn't... It's not convoluted.
Yep.
It's all just basic time travel done, bump. It's not like they'll refer back to something that happened 2 episodes ago and then undo it and things like that. They do it properly, so you know it's not just going to be rubbish what you're watching.
Like, guys, the one rule of time travel is you don't fuck with time travel.
No.
It all goes wrong. If you get the ability to time travel, don't do it. When has it ever worked out for anyone? Not even Marty McFly.
Definitely not.
Well, it kind of worked out, but then it didn't. And then he screwed everything up.
And then almost his mum.
Almost became his own dad.
Yes.
Oh, Marty McFly. But yeah, Mandalorian, everyone, the season 2 is fully out. Go watch it. Highly recommend that. Well, let's jump in.
Just quickly.
Yes.
There is just that one as well with the lads from the Cornetto trilogy that I think is worth watching.
Oh, what's it called again?
Soon. Oh, let's see.
Let's do our high intensity research. It's on Amazon. It's not The Boys, even though The Boys is good.
Truth Seekers.
Yes, I remember when the trailer came out and I was like, I have to watch this. And then I didn't for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed it completely, but yeah, I'm going to be watching that soon. I think that looks really good from the clips I've seen.
Because the funny thing is, it sort of dropped when like Phasmophobia was just like getting really big.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I do like Nick Frost. I do like Simon Pegg. Yeah, I might even start watching this today. It's only 8 episodes, like 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, it's been going since October, I think.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, you could do a watch party because it's Amazon on Twitch.
Yeah.
I might actually, because I'm on a holiday soon. I have to do that. Make it secret.
There we go.
Truth Seekers stream and watch everything, all 8 episodes.
Sounds good, man.
Be working things out as we're going.
Yes.
Guys, the meat and potatoes of this episode, I was gonna say top 20 games of 2020. The top 5 games of 2020. Wow, top 20. Was there even 20 good games this year? Who knows?
No, definitely. There was 20 bad games.
There was a lot of bad games. So we're just gonna go through our top 5 games of 2020, and then after that, we're gonna go through our top 5 games played in 2020, because we do play a lot of older games that didn't necessarily come out this year, but we still want to talk about. Maybe we played it for the first time, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So
they still deserve the love and attention.
Oh, I've got some games that deserve all the love and attention in that list. Lionxv, give me your number 5.
My number 5 is Star Wars Squadrons.
Ooh-wee. That was that came out and it did pretty well.
Yes, it did. 1st of October it came out by Motive Studios, a developer, and EA is a publisher of it, obviously, because it's Star Wars. They have to do it. I love it for the kind of fighter aspect, which reminds me of the original Battlegrounds 2. If you ever played that, not the new one, the older one.
The old Battlegrounds 2.
Yeah, the proper Battlegrounds 2. It reminded me a lot of that. If it could combine that with what they've got for Battlegrounds 2 now, I reckon it would have been a hell of a game.
Did you have a PlayStation VR?
I have the Vive, I do.
Can you connect it?
Awesome. Yeah. That's one of the main reasons it's one of my favourite games, is because I can play it in VR.
Oh, hell yeah.
The only thing I've found is you've got to be very careful, because your instinct in VR is to look around.
Yep.
And if you look around in a spaceship that's going 1,000 miles forwards, you pull back and spin back and twist round, and you tilt your head the other way. You feel very sick very quickly at the start.
No. Like, how did these goddamn rebels even shoot anything where they're looking around?
Oh no, man! Oh, I have new respect for fighter pilots that once you've got that out on your head, of they just looking one way and turning another one, man. Oof.
Imagine doing that
But
IRL with all the G-force.
Yeah, G-force as well pulling you down. No wonder they have to go through so much training. But it's all right once you get used to it. But that's a bit of a stumbling block for some people, but it does go away. So if you do like play it and stop because of that, keep going with it, and it's well worth it in the end because it's amazing in VR.
How was the single player part of it?
Really good because that's in VR as well.
Nice. Because it's basically all just like ship fighting, yeah?
Yeah. We've got different missions and stuff. You play as both sides of the war, and it's a good story as well.
Oh hell yeah! How are the sounds? Because I know in the newer Battlefront games, the sounds, the music is literally 10 out of 10. Did it sound just as good in this one?
Yeah, they've got everything spot on. You're like in a film, one of the films, as soon as you're in the game. Just with, even though the music isn't the same, it's the right kind of Star Wars genre. Yep.
And those TIE fighter sounds, like they're so good.
Yeah, just hearing them whiz past you, it's amazing.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, as you know, I would love to get a VR one day. I had my finger over the buy button earlier this year, and then I was like, nah, I better save it. I got some things to buy this year, but it'll happen one day.
As soon as you do, Phantasmophobia stream me and you in VR.
Oh no, that game's scary enough.
Yes, we've got to.
How is that game in VR, by the way?
I haven't played it yet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've heard it's even scarier.
Yes, me too. Everything is scarier in VR.
I don't know who it was. I saw a streamer. They're like playing Phasmophobia VR on like pro level. I'm like, no. Like solo as well.
No, thank you. Oh, no, man.
At least
it's so much scarier in VR. Yeah. Because with this, you can, looking at a monitor, you can look away, or if you're in a dark room, you're still in a room that's the same light as the room you're actually in, if that makes sense. Whereas in VR, you're in whatever light and conditions that they want you to be in.
Oh, and then the thing starts, it starts chasing you. You hear the music.
Yeah, and if you duck in the dark corridor, it is pitch black. You can't see anything.
Oh my god. Okay, I guess that's why we're going to get a VR now, guys.
Yes.
Please donate to Will Be VR He's Poor Fund.
Yes.
So my fifth game of 2020 is, it's no surprise it's on my list, but it's a big surprise it's number 5, and that is Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
My fifth game of 2020. Cyberpunk was released literally the other day, the 10th of December, was developed and published by CD Projekt Red. Obviously I played this on, I played this on PC, and that's a big thing for this game because a story just broke out like yesterday that Sony has pulled the whole game from its online store.
Yes.
It's delisted, and they're offering refunds because the base PS4 game and the base Xbox One game are absolute trash, which is nuts because they made this game for those consoles. So like me and my friends and like anyone I talk to about this was sort of like, I'm so curious as to what happened and where it all went wrong. But yeah, I played this on PC. Luckily, I have a beefy old 2080 Super 10th generation Intel, and so I was very hyped for this game, extremely hyped even. And I played it the first day, and I was kind of let down. I was like, okay, so, it looks like this? Okay. And then after that first stream, I kind of came from it, like, not liking it. I was like, I played like 4 or 5 hours, like that first stream.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. And then I was thinking about it for the next few days, and I'm like, why don't I like this? And it just came to me that I was just too hyped. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be super duper next gen to me. And it kind of, I think the thing I said, it kind of looks like GTA 5, which is not a bad looking game.
No.
It's just not next gen to me. So I thought about it for a few days, and then I jumped into it again, and there's a few story beats that happen. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm playing the Street Kid playthrough. Yeah. There's a few story beats that happen.
Let me just guess, is it just before the official kind of title screen comes up?
Yes.
You got to, because I think I did exactly the same thing, yeah.
There's a moment where you're in that building trying to steal that thing from the safe.
Yeah, and that thing happens.
That happened, and that was awesome. I was like, oh, okay, I see. Oh, this story's good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next thing that happens where you're like, wait, where am I? Like, what year is this?
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when it got good. I was like, wow, it took like, 6 hours to get good?
Yeah, and it really opens up after that as well.
And now I love it. I think it's a really good game. I tell people, because people come and ask me all the time. I mean, it's a hot topic right now. People come and go, should I get Cyberpunk? And I'm like, yes. Is it a masterpiece? No. Is it doing anything super duper special? Not really. Is it a good game? Yes. Like, it's not doing, like, the shooting is nothing crazy. I've played better shooter games. I've played worse shooter games. The shooting's good. The skill tree, really good. Like, it gives you the ability to really, niche down on what your character wants to be.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Oblivion style of leveling up, where you get perks for doing certain things, and you level up by doing them as well as choosing your own perks as well.
Yeah, and I always tell people it kind of reminds me of like a Fallout or like a Skyrim or something, but like with a Cyberpunk skin, which is good for me because I, as people know, I personally don't like those games very much, but I like this one, so it gives me that sort of ability to play those kind of games, but like with the cool Cyberpunk skin.
Yeah.
The driving is terrible.
Definitely. Yeah, I only use bikes because bikes aren't too bad.
I do. I steal bikes too. I'm like, hey, you got a bike? Okay, I'll murder you guys and then I'll steal your bike.
Yep.
Yeah, driving, terrible. AI, terrible. Absolutely terrible. The police, terrible.
No.
The first time I think I just like tried to murder someone just for like shits and giggles. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait for the police. They're going to come. Boom. Just teleports behind me.
Yeah.
And then 3 more police officers teleport in front of me. They just teleport everywhere. And then you kill them and then more teleport. I'm like, oh, okay. So AI, terrible. But I'm having fun with it. I think it's a fun game. I'm keen to finish it. I'm keen to play all the storylines too. Like if the story's as good as this one and all the rest, it's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a first playthrough as is, and then maybe waiting a little bit until it's, they've put it together better or they're very more happy with what they've done.
Yeah, a bit patched up.
Yeah.
Plus, I know, now that I've been playing for a while, I know sort of how the skill tree works and what kind of like play style I want to go for, instead of just like, when you get a big skill tree like that and you start putting random points everywhere because you're like, oh, that might be good. Oh, that might be good. So you just wasted a whole bunch of points.
Yeah.
Also, best peen simulator as well.
Especially when you put your pants on and it's through the pants.
Well, I chose a female character.
Right. Nice.
So I like playing as girls. And I was like I think I went to sleep or something and I woke up and I went to check my inventory and my boobies were poking out. I was like, hey, chat, I'm not a female, but does this happen? And everyone's like, oh yeah, you go to sleep and your boobies start poking out. And yeah, I heard the peens poke out too.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That's like a funny like glitch.
Yeah, but you can live with it because you just take it off, put a piece of item back on again, and it's gone. It's not.
I was like, oh, my boobs are hanging out. I guess this is how I rock now. Yeah, fix your AI, CD Projekt Red. I think that's probably the worst part. The AI is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Mr. Lionxv, give me your fourth favorite game of this year.
Yeah, my fourth favourite is one that I like to pick up for short bursts at a time with friends, but it's Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Yes, Fall Guys didn't make my list, but Fall Guys, fantastic game.
Yeah, it was released back in February by Mediatonic and Devolver Digital and Tame Games are the publishers. But I just love it for short form kind of thing. You know, you and your friends are, say, waiting for a game to download or something, or you've got half an hour to kill before you eat. So you're just like, well, just jump on Fall Guys for a couple of rounds of that. And I just like the support it's getting as well from the devs, you know, because everything's changing so much.
Oh, it's fantastic. Their community managers on Twitter as well, also 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I went to I know that guy from Leeds.
From Leeds?
From Leeds.
You just know everyone from Leeds, don't you?
Yes.
That's how it works over there. Got him. Yeah, Fall Guys, fantastic game. Sort of came... Did it really come out of nowhere? I think it came out. And then didn't do too well for like a week or two. And then it got released on the PlayStation Plus, and PlayStation players got it for free. And I think it was one of those games where a few big streamers, a few big YouTubers got a whiff of it, and it blew up. And I don't really play it anymore, but my God, I had so much fun with it when it was big. Did you play any of the new seasons? Season 2, and I think Season 3 is about to come out.
Yeah. Season 3's out. I play it all the time, really. Well, I'd say not all the time, maybe 3-4 times a month, something like that.
That's not too bad.
My daughter Lucy plays it more.
Yeah, so it'd be like a really good
she loves
kids
it.
game.
Yeah, because you know there's no like text chat, there's no voice chat, nothing is going to happen with her playing on it online with lots of people, and it's just a good experience.
It's colorful AF. I'm just trying to see
yes,
it still does pretty well on Twitch. Like it's sitting at 16.2k viewers. It sort of fluctuates a lot more than it used to. I think Among Us kind of came in, took over. But yeah, man, it's a well done game. It played well. It was fun. There was what was some of your favorite mini games?
Of the original?
Yes.
I'd say the slime climb and those kind of ones were quite good.
Yeah, I think I preferred the races.
Yeah.
And have they gotten rid of the egg one yet?
It's very rare now.
Oh,
There's
thank you.
Lots of new ones. There's ones where you're going down a ramp and you've got spinning discs intersecting this ramp going down with holes in them, and each hole has a bronze, silver, or gold colour around it, and they're each worth a set number of points, and you've got to get 15 points to qualify. So you're sliding down this ramp, jumping up through these hoops and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but they've done with it now.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Good work, Fall Guys. You made a fantastic game. Everyone's still playing it. I'm just quickly looking through Twitch, and there's a guy, live wins 1,986.
Wow.
Get a life, guy. No, that's pretty that's pretty freaking insane, dude.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Did you get any crowns?
Yeah, I've got 10.
Oh my goodness, Lord. I think I got 2.
It's better than none.
It is. There's people out there that got none, you poor souls.
Yeah.
Keep at it, kids. You'll get there. My number 4th game of 2020 was, I think it's going to be a lot of people's games of the year, to be honest, but my 4th is a little game called Hades.
Oh, yeah.
Which was released on the 17th of September, developed and published by Supergiant Games. This game is fantastic. It is a roguelike hack and slash, but when people hear roguelike, they're kind of like, oh, I don't really want to like start over again. It is and it isn't, because when you die in this game, you still push forward, and I think that's why this roguelike and this game works so well. Lion, how do you feel about Hades?
I like it, yeah. Same as what you were saying before, I don't like pure rogue games where it's like total resets after each playthrough. I do like an overall kind of progression to them. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Because like, if you have no idea what the hell we're talking about, so when you die in Hades, you bring back I forgot what they're called, but they're like, you know, currency and points and stuff. You bring that back with you to put into like different perks to make your next run like, you become stronger as you go on to hopefully get further in your next run, and then you bring back keys to unlock new weapons, unlock new perks and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's where it was like, it was really early on. I think it was like the first play, like the first run I did, and I died. I came back with some stuff and I was like, this is cool. And then every time you come back, the story progresses as well. Like, there's an actual story to this game.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I think you might have to progress a certain distance each time to get those story beats. But as I said, you come back and you put more points in yourself, you become stronger, and it becomes easier up until a point. And you're like, okay, this is my like peak. Now I have to try and get stronger to get past this. The level design, the art design, the artwork, absolutely beautiful. And it plays like Diablo, like, in a way, but really, really fast paced. Did you ever complete it, Lion?
No, I've not completed it, but I did play it a fair bit.
Yeah, I haven't completed it because I'm trash at games. But yeah, it gave me like big Diablo vibes. It's very chaotic, very fun. Definitely check it out. I don't think it's on Game Pass. It might be. Everything's on Game Pass. But Lion, give me your third favorite game of 2020.
Yeah. My third one is one that we waited literal decades for. This one is Streets of Rage 4.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Released 30th of April by Dotemu, Lizard Cube, and Guard Crush. Publishers were Dotemu again. Played it on the PC, but this was perfect. It was really worth the wait for the sequel.
It was out on Game Pass, wasn't it?
I don't think it was when it's released, but I think it is now. So well worth having a look about. We sound like an advert for the Game Pass on this podcast, man.
Oh yeah, today's podcast is not sponsored by Game Pass. Let's change that.
But if anybody can sort that out for us, you know.
Anyone listening at Xbox, I know you're listening, guys. So back when we first did this, as you might know, Lion and I started this podcast well over a year ago, which is insane. We actually did an episode on Streets of Rage, and one thing that I loved about Streets of Rage was the soundtrack. So how's the soundtrack in this new one?
You've got the old and new, and the new music is just as good.
Hell yeah, because that soundtrack was so good.
Yeah, and they've stepped it up with the basic combos that you had in 1, 2, and 3. You had like one attack and then like a second stage that you could activate sometimes with certain attacks. They've gone like one step further with 4. So it's really in depth. There's so many characters to unlock. You've got all the new fleshed out characters, new from the old 1, 2, and 3. Everybody apart from the kid Blades? Skates? Something to do with his rollerblades. Yeah, his inline skates. And she's been kind of replaced by this girl rocker. But you've got all these new models, and then you've also can unlock the old models from actual final the Streets of Rage, like the final bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, and they play like the older ones as well, with just a few tweaks to get them up to power for number 4.
That's actually pretty cool. I might have to jump into this.
Yeah. I've completed it with my friends probably about 10 times now.
Wow.
Just because there's all new stuff to unlock. You know, it's like a new character every run through that you unlock. So it's
okay, yep. How long's the actual playthrough?
It's well worth it. I'd say if you were, going on to it about your third or fourth run through, you're probably going to do it in about 5 hours.
That's not too bad. Like, I'm looking at the artwork now, and it does look really good.
So much replayability. Yeah, the artwork is fantastic. Really well done.
Did you play the new Battletoads game?
And no, I was going to, but I never got around to it.
How did you feel about that game when you sort of saw it?
I was skeptical. But with a Battletoads game, it varies so much from level to level that it's hard to really gauge whether it's going to be a good one until you play it. Yeah,
because I played it, and when I first saw it, because I played a crap ton of Battletoads when I was a kid, and when I first saw it, I was a bit put off with the art direction. So that was I'm like, okay, so I'm not really hyped about this game. I played it. It's pretty good. It's not great. Like, I don't really care about it, but I think they did the brawler pretty well, and it was pretty fun. The writing was really good too. So I might have to download Streets of Rage 4 on the Game Pass.
Yep, it's well worth it.
Cause it does. I like the look of it. It's like retro but modern.
Yeah, it's got modern complexity to a good retro structure.
Hell yeah, Streets of Rage 4, baby. What are we up to? Third? My third. So this game franchise is usually on my list every year, so you probably know what the hell I'm going to be talking about. Usually it's at my number 5, but it's actually at my number 3 this year, and that's Call of Duty Cold War.
Oh, nice.
It's released on the 13th of November, developed by Treyarch and Raven Software, and published by Activision. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is at my number 3 and not at the normal number 5. Usually it's at number 5 because I like Call of Duty. It's always fun playing shooty shoots. This year it's at number 3 purely because of the single player campaign. The multiplayer is also fantastic. I love it. I think it's really fun. Treyarch make fantastic maps, and they know how to do a multiplayer. But I found out that Raven Software did the single player campaign for this game because there was a lot of I think Sledgehammer Games were meant to make the next Call of Duty, but they weren't working together well with Raven. So Activision's like, okay, Treyarch, you take over. So Raven did the single player campaign. The single player campaign for this game is fan-freaking-tastic. The story is really good, and they do some really cool missions. There's these really cool stealth missions. There's a wacky ass, I guess a twist ending, but it's like an ending that you don't even see coming. And then it gives me the option to be an evil bastard, which is always good. I don't want to spoil the story too much. Definitely go play it. It's not long at all. I finished it in 4 or 5 hours. Oh, but it was so good. Lion, did you jump into this year's Call of Duty?
No, I don't normally play Call of Duty since the first couple, really.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me how I felt about Titanfall. The story in that. It's so good. Everyone go play Call of Duty. I mean, it is pretty friggin' expensive, but if you like the multiplayer too, it's well worth the money. And then you got zombies on top of that. So Call of Duty, my number 3. But Lion, what's your number 2 game of this year?
My number 2 was another sequel, Lionxv I.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
Turn-based co-op, which is very rare, really, unless you're diving into Divinity Original Sin type of ones. But released 27th of August by In Exile Entertainment. They did the publishing as well as Deep Silver with it, and it is on the Xbox Game Pass.
Of course it is.
Of course. But we played it the day it came out on the Game Pass. me and a friend, and it is such a good turn-based fantasy game. The Wasteland 2 wasn't too long ago released. I think it's like 5 years, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't think it's too long, no.
But this one is really carried on well. It reminds me a lot of the original Fallout game.
Yes, the
Or
OG
games.
Fallout.
Yeah, OG Fallout reminds me a lot of that. Really deep storyline, like the Fallouts, where you just get stuck in a branch of side quest and get really into the story of it, of what's happening and that kind of thing.
So I'm looking at screenshots here. What the hell is this big robot scorpion?
Oh, that's enemy bosses at patrol.
And a robot spider. Oh my god. The screenshots look cool.
Yeah, and it's so flexible as well. We've like thought of loads of different things that people will do and then programmed it in. I'll give you an example. We were hunting down an android that was hiding. It had gone kind of rogue. We knew it was in this kind of showroom of androids, all in scenes. We knew it was in there somewhere, but we had no way of identifying it because the normal androids didn't have AI in. They were just literally robots. So me and my friend were like completely flummoxed. We were looking everywhere for clues. We knew we were missing something, but we couldn't find it. So I just went, right, screw this. I started shooting up all the robots until I got to one that went, no, don't shoot. I was like, there we go, found him.
That's the only way to find it.
Yeah.
Murder everyone except for the dude that says, no. Oh,
Yep.
That's good.
It worked. But yeah, it's really well done. Really worth a go, especially co-op.
Hell yeah. I'm going to try that with every other game I play now.
Yeah,
I'm going to shoot
just
everyone until someone
alternative
says
thinking.
no.
Yep, and then I know you're the quest person.
It doesn't particularly look like my type of game, but just looking at screenshots, it looks friggin' beautiful though.
Yeah, it's really, really well put together for the environments and where you are and how they kind of show you moving around.
And just these like big robot monsters, they look so cool.
Yeah, really good taking those down.
Hell yeah. So my number two, number two.
2.
A game that also came out of the Game Pass, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Was released on the 11th of March, developed by Moon Studios, published by Xbox Game Studios. I played it on Game Pass on the PC. Did you play, okay, question for you. Did you play Ori and the Blind Forest?
I did, yes.
Did you play Will of the Wisps?
Not yet.
How dare you? Anyway, so you remember the original Ori and how beautiful it was and how good the gameplay was? You remember all that?
Yes, yeah.
And you probably thought to yourself, this can't get any better than this? Well, it did.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
did.
Surprise.
It got better somehow, and I don't know how they did it. It looks more beautiful. It plays better. The skills, the things you can unlock are better. The story's better. I cried. Which you kind of expect with an Ori game now.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember the first one, that big starting piece, made me very upset. I was like, they're not going to do that again, are they? Oh, I'm sad. Fantastic, beautiful platforming. I personally think this is the standard of platforming now.
Yeah.
It just
Nice.
plays so smoothly, and you still get those big, chase scene set pieces where something's chasing you. It's really good. They add a few new things here and there. I kind of want to, when I was writing this list and I wrote down Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I'm like, I kind of want to play this again. And I think I might soon.
Nice. It's a good game when you want to play it through again.
It just looks so good. Wait, let me just I need to look at some screenshots. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Oh my god, it looks so freaking beautiful. How do they get to look like this?
It's like the sea in Sea of Thieves. It's just a mystery that we will never know the answer to.
Well, that's why they can't get the hit reg right, because they're working too much on the ocean. Yeah,
More
you look
water.
at, especially when you're in that area of the map on Sea of Thieves where it's like crisp blue.
Yeah.
How?
Or a storm's just coming in, so the waves are just turning foamy at the top.
Yep. And the waves always come in when you're trying to have some PvP fun.
Yes.
But Ori and the Will of the Wisps, oh my god, it looks. I might replay this actually. Not a long game. I think it's longer than the original, but not like that's. I kind of like super not long games. Like they go for too long, I get bored and. Well, not bored. I'm just like, oh, I just want to. I like short, focused experiences, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no filler.
Yep. Ori and Will of the Wisps, go play it on the anything Game Pass. I think it's out on everything. Lion, we've reached our number one game of 2020. Please tell me yours.
Wow.
Game of the year.
Well, this one is obviously not many people are going to be able to appreciate it at the level that I did, but it's Half-Life Alyx.
Yes. I kind of had an inkling it might have been Half-Life
because
Alyx.
I didn't think it came out this year.
It's been a long year,
I
man.
thought it came out last year, yeah.
So how was obviously because we are older gentlemen, we know Half-Life, we know the Half-Life series. How was this game? How does it stand up to Half-Life 2? Does VR make it better?
Well, I reckon it really does. I found that, in the original ones, where you were put into an environment and things were happening all around you, whether it was scientists being dragged into a duct or like doors like squeaking a bit and being stuck open and jarring and shutting and opening and shutting, that kind of stuff. You notice every little detail in VR.
Yeah.
Because you're literally in there. If you hear something, your instinct is just to look and you're instantly focused on that thing that's happening at the time. So they've carried that over really well. The storyline is perfect. It is done fantastic. It's a really faithful mid-story, say 2.5 Half-Life kind of thing.
Until we get that Half-Life 3, eh?
Yeah.
Can't catch 3.
But, nope, definitely not. Unfortunately. But this scratches that itch for sure. The gameplay on VR, you can tell it was done by a company that has made a VR headset because the integration and doing things was just so fluid and natural. Like the flicking of the wrist to kind of flick items towards yourself and then catch them. You find yourself doing little tricks with it, and that's just looting. You were doing tricks and showing off whilst looting things.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, yeah, none of it felt like a chore at any point. You'd happily like explore places and peek your head around corners and things like that. And they really played into the VR. They knew what people would do. So like there'd be noise coming through like a hole in like a wall, like a part that's been blown out, and you'd just stick your head around it, and then like a crab would just scoot past quickly and stuff like that.
That sounds terrifying.
Really? Yeah, they really got the terror of it, especially like those head grabbers and things like that, man. Oof.
So this game
Really scary.
is also a very beautiful game. How did it look in VR? How did it feel in VR? Did it run pretty well?
It ran perfectly on my machine. I think there were some problems at the start with it, but I think they've been pretty much ironed out now. I have no idea how it did half of the stuff that it did, because at one point I was in the middle of like this railway yard with trains crashing and flying carriages all around me whilst I was like ducking for cover and stuff. It was so kind of strategic. There was so much happening at one point that you're not sure how it's actually doing it all at the same time.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because it looks like the amount of detail in this game is nuts, and it looks so good. I was just curious on how it how it ran, and I'm glad it ran very good for you. Oh man,
yeah, and the graphics look really good.
this game alone, I think, sold a butt ton of VR headsets. By the way,
Yeah, for sure.
when it was getting close to the when they announced it, they announced a date. Man, the VR headsets off the shelves, you couldn't find one at all, which is cool. Means people still
you
like
didn't
the
hear
series.
one bad thing about it after.
No, I think I heard a few people, maybe with lesser headsets, having a little bit of trouble getting in.
Yeah, at the start, yeah.
I think people playing on like trying to do like the quests with the link cables and stuff wasn't working very properly. Very properly, is that even a sentence? Wasn't working very well. But other than that, I've heard nothing but great things. I honestly think, I obviously haven't played it, but I think it probably should have been up for a Game Awards Game of the Year. Like, especially over Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, that remake was... Yeah, I'm not a fan. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, you didn't like it? Did you play it?
I played it, but there's a couple of things that I think that it's either a marketing decision for more money or they're running out of ideas. So I think they've just put some stuff forwards and then seeing what the community creates and picking the best and running with that.
Oh, God. One of those things there.
I think so, because if you're going to do a remake, why redo the whole story? Just doesn't make sense. People fell in love with the characters and the story. They want to play that again, but with maybe a couple of new mechanics, better graphics. They don't want a new story. Just make a new Final Fantasy.
Because that wasn't really advertised either, was it? It wasn't like you're playing new story stuff. It's like, you kind of expect with a remake that it's just the original story, yeah.
Yeah, and they did it as a twist in it, which is really shoddy marketing, in my opinion. I won't be buying the second installment in chapters that they're releasing it, put it that way, because after that it was like, well, you obviously don't care about the original Final Fantasy story, so this is just another Final Fantasy game now. The original Final Fantasy VII story, so it's just a normal Final Fantasy VII game.
Yeah. Go play the original, guys. Still pretty good.
Yes, still well worth a play.
So my top game, my game of the year for 2020 was a game that came out and just I fell in love with it. And that game is called Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was released on the 20th of March, developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. My God, this game was just the most delightful game, especially when it came out. You know, this was at the start of the global pandemic. Everyone was panicking.
Yeah.
The world was going to shit. We didn't know what was happening, but we had Animal Crossing and everyone and their mothers was playing this game. I can't even put it into words how I feel about this. I think it was just my best experience gaming I've had this year. Lion, did you play this at all? Do you have a Switch?
I don't. I haven't played this one, but I did play the previous one. The
New
New
Leaf?
Leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love these types of games. You can just waste days in them.
And even though I don't like stream it anymore, I still jump into my island every now and again and check up on everyone, make sure everyone's good, make sure my house hasn't burnt to the ground. And I think the great thing they did with this game is the addition of events and seasonal events and different challenges, and just to keep you sort of like playing and invested in the game. But looks absolutely gorgeous. It was a great way to hang out with friends and make new friends, and you invite people, you see what they're doing with their islands. It was very creative as well, and I like being creative, like with like building up. I guess I like base building, but this is kind of like island building. Yeah. And then when you get the ability to change the land and add rivers and add mountains, oh my God, it was so good. And I like Tom Nook, man. He gave me a house. I had to pay him back, but It was interest free. No
Well,
bank's going to do that.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, my game of the year. Overall, Lion, was it a bit of a weird year for gaming in general?
Yeah. It's I think a lot's been delayed, so we haven't really heard of much coming up.
It's kind of
stuff that was meant to be out this year has just gone black. Not listening, not hearing anything from them. Gone completely dark. There's no communication. There's nothing coming out, and all we heard was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be out in 2020." And we've not heard anything from them all year.
Because it's just, for me personally, it's just felt like how's it feel? It just feels like nothing super duper's come out. Like, I'm looking at my list from last year. We had Control, Link's Awakening remake, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Luigi's Mansion 3, Untitled Goose Game. Last year it was harder to come up with my list. This year was a lot easier. And I was just like thinking about it. I'm like, have this year's games just, like, they've been good, but maybe I've missed the good ones, or it's I
think a lot of the good ones that we were waiting for just ended up not being as good as we thought they would be, so they just died off within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a strange year for gaming, and it's understandable to a point. But I'm just going to give some honorable mentions to a few games that came out. Phasmophobia, one we talked about before, fantastic game, sort of came out of nowhere. Yep. Great game to play with friends. Tony Hawk's Remake 1 and 2, that was really fun.
Yeah,
really enjoyed that one. Tell Me Why was the game from the Life is Strange mob. Very good story. I love everything they bring out. And The Dark Pictures Little Hope, which was a bit of a surprise hit for me. I played that with a friend, my friend Frost. Hello, Frost. We can play that co-op, and I think if I played that solo, it would have been a good game. But playing it with Frost, it made it a fantastic game. So Little Hope, Dark Pictures. Nice. Have you got any honorable mentions this year?
I was going to mention Cyberpunk as an honorable mention. Just because I'm not really having many bugs, but I know a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I think the smaller bits that aren't as good for everybody, like the AI and that kind of thing, just puts it in my eyes as an honourable mention for this year.
Yep.
Grounded was another one. Great potential, just got to wait and see where that one actually goes. And Undermine is another one. That's like a roguelite, Zelda-esque kind of dungeon crawler game. Really well done. You like go in a mine and mine for gold and resources, and you've got like power-ups and potions and that kind of stuff. And when you die, you go to the above world bit, and that's where you can like power up your weapons, your pickaxe, your armor, all that kind of stuff. And again, Game Pass.
Of course it is. Did you play the Survivalists this year?
I did. I was a bit disappointed in that, but
it was fun for a little bit, and then I got over it really fast.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and then after a bit, I was like, okay, where's the other bits? The other kind of, mechanics as such. There didn't seem to be much in the way of different mechanics to do.
Maybe it'll, after a little bit of TLC, maybe. I think they added like different animals and stuff recently, so I'll give it some time. I'll jump back into it eventually.
Yeah.
But Lion, we're gonna we'll go over our top 5 games played of this year. We won't go into too many details because these are all old games. But Lion, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Talisman. Talisman, which I'm a sucker for old board games, and it's a digital version of an old board game. I've got a copy of a physical board game as well as quite a few of the expansions, but it's just a brilliant way for you and up to 6 friends to chill for a whole evening, maybe a couple of evenings, play some kind of adventure RPG. kind of build up a character and get items, spells, and kind of try to do an overall goal of winning and defeating other people, the other players.
And I did play this one with you digitally, obviously.
Yes.
Good fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My number 5 games I played in 2020. My Time at Porsche.
Oh yes, yeah, that's nice. That one.
I remember you telling me about this game for a long time, and then I finally jumped into it. Yeah, fantastic game. It's got that sort of Stardew vibe, which is really good, but like a really beautiful 3D world. You can get really lost in this game, and you could forget about like adult things to do in your IRL life because you're doing adult things in a video game. But My Time at Porsche, if you like Stardew Valley and stuff like that, definitely check this game out.
Yeah. Have you seen the new one coming out?
What?
My Time at something else.
My Time at everything's just Porsche. Porsche sequel?
Sandrock.
That doesn't sound fun. My Time at Sandrock will launch via an early access version in March 2021. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, I'm looking at screenshots. So like in like a deserty area?
Yeah. Looks a lot more combat.
Oh, okay. Keep your eyes out for that one, my friends.
Yes.
Lion, what is your number 4?
Number 4 is Deep Rock Galactic. Again, another short form-ish kind of one. You can just jump in with friends, go on a mining mission. Fast-paced, gather resources, protect resources against alien bug creatures.
Deep Rock Galactic. I do want to jump into that one eventually. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, well worth playing. And Game Pass.
Brought to you by Game Pass. My number 4 is a small game called Titanfall 2.
Nice.
And I played a little bit of the multiplayer for this, but this is mostly for the single player campaign. And it's kind of like the Call of Duty Cold War one, where it was a really good campaign. The shooting in this game is quality. The story's fantastic. There's a lot of really cool time mechanics that show up, and the ending is big sad. So Titanfall 2, go check it out. It's very cheap everywhere. Yeah. I don't think it's on Game Pass, but it's everywhere else.
I think, is it on Origin store?
It'll be on Steam now because of the EA.
Oh, the Origin does like 20 quid for a year's access to there.
Wait a minute. Because this is EA, it might be on Game Pass. It might be on the console Game Pass because the Game Pass is getting all the EA games, but the console's getting it first and the PC's getting it later.
Oh.
Game Pass,
keep
baby.
Your eye out. Yeah.
Lion, what is your number 3?
Number 3, Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
It's self-explanatory.
I was going to add it to my list, but I'm like, that's way too obvious.
I've got a lot of new people into it, especially since it's come over to Steam. So we've got a bigger group of people playing on it now, because I understand some people not wanting to pay a subscription just to play the game, but now that they can purchase it and just come back as and when, a lot more people are joining. Yeah,
I bought it on Steam as soon as I could, but another fantastic game on Game Pass. Like if you have Game Pass, it's a good way to try out this game and then maybe buy it at a later date as well.
Yeah.
I highly always recommend Sea of Thieves. Good with friends. My number 3 is the OG Paper Mario game that came out all those years ago.
Nice.
Paper Mario 64. It is one of, I've got 2 other games to come up, but it's one of the best games, one of the best retro games I've ever played. It was so fun from start to finish. A big laugh. The combat system was great. I played Origami King and I was big disappointed.
Yeah. It just doesn't stand up to Paper Mario.
I think I said for like the whole stream, I was like, man, you know what they should have done? They should have remade the OG Paper Mario, but in this style, because it looks beautiful. It's just the gameplay is trash.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Lion, what is your number 2?
Number 2 is Monster Hunter World.
Nice. One game I said I would play. I bought it.
Yes.
I haven't jumped in yet.
Yes, you did. It is well worth playing. It is one of those games that starts off simple, gets really complicated, and actually rewards you for like researching a monster. So like you'll get put out on a hunt for a monster, and you can like it's got proper AI. It does things that a creature would do. Like it will go to get a drink. If it's scared, it will go to usually where it hangs out or hides, like where it lives. And you'll learn how to track these monsters down and how to keep in combat with them when they're trying to run away. And the range of different weapons and play styles and kind of tweaking that you do to the armor sets to kind of lean into the way that you play that character. It's just fantastic. You get a real sense of accomplishment from downing these huge monsters that are like 10 times the size that you are.
And the monsters look so good. Are you looking forward to the movie coming out?
I'll watch it. I don't. It's a film from a movie, so they're never good ever. So I've not got much hope for it, but I will watch it.
Yeah, it's like I've got hope for video game movies. Like Sonic was good. Pokemon was good. The original Super Mario Brothers movie, still one of the best movies ever. Come at me, everyone. I still love that movie.
But it was also mentioned in a previous podcast.
I love it. I think the only thing is, like, it came out when I was a kid. So, you know, screw me, right, for liking a movie when I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's Cyberpunk, really. Huh? Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. And if you want to know how Bob Hoskins broke his hand, you're going to have to watch one of the old podcasts, listen to the old podcast, because we talk about it in that.
I love Bob Hoskins. He is so good.
Yeah. Broke his hand during filming Super Mario Brothers.
He'd probably put that on his resume too.
Yes. Who wouldn't? Come on.
I would. I'm going to put it on my resume right now. My number 2.
Super Mario.
My number 2 is a game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called...
I think I've played those.
It's called The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap.
Ah, nice.
It is... Now, it's hard to tell... It's hard to tell what my top Zelda game is of all time. Growing up, it was Ocarina of Time. But Ocarina of Time doesn't even make my top 3 Zelda games these days. I think my top 3 is... And it's hard to put in which order. I would say The Minish Cap... A Link to the Past, and Link's Awakening. I think my top 3.
Yeah, because you played 2 of those on stream, didn't you?
Yes, so I streamed the Minish Cap, and it is so good. I think the Minish Cap might be my top Zelda game.
Nice.
It looks good. It plays well. The story's fantastic. The mechanics are great. The dungeons are great. The characters are great. It's just great all around. I can't speak any higher. It's one of those games you should play, especially if you're a Zelda fan, a retro fan. And I think I like it so much because it's never mentioned much with Zelda stuff. Like everyone's like A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. Man, give some Minish Cap some love, gang.
Nice. Yeah,
Lion, what is your top game played in 2020?
This is going to sound really strange, but it just struck me completely out of the blue. I saw a discount voucher for it. I bought it on a whim, and I have played it so much. Let me just make sure I've got the name right. It's because it's a sequel as well, and I've never played the first one. Okay, yeah, the full title is Dragon Quest Builders 2. Dragon
Quest Builders 2.
Yes. Now, this game, if you like My Time at Portia or any Zelda game, you will love this game.
Ooh, it does.
The premise is essentially you get washed up on an island, you're given the island, and you have to improve that island, building buildings for residents, and each building has its own kind of function. So if you build a room, that function of that room is determined by what items that you put in that room
Oh, that's cool.
So you can make like an inn for all the people staying there, so they have somewhere to sleep, or you can make a dining room, you can make a kitchen, a blacksmith, you name it. It's in there. There's a huge list. It deploys you to different islands where you use new skills that you've picked up, new items that you've got, like picking up blocks or smashing new blocks or bombs. You know, the whole kind of Zelda trope. And each island that you get to, you kind of complete that island, and then you can get new residents for your island. So they'll come to your island and do specific things there. They'll help you build stuff. They'll help. You've got like a huge checklist of things to complete for the island. So you've got like your main one, and then the sub quests. So you can really get into depth if that's your kind of thing with it. And it's multiplayer.
Looking at like screenshots and GIFs, and this looks cool.
It really is.
It's on Steam.
Yeah, I got the demo first, so it's definitely worth downloading the free demo on the Steam store if you think it might be something that you're interested in, because you can continue from the demo on the full game and just carry on from where you left off.
Oh, that's pretty good. It came out the 11th of December last year too, so...
Yeah, it only just missed the 2020 list.
Yeah, I might have to put this on my games to playlist, because this looks... It's like got like cute little like chibi anime characters. Looks like you can get very creative with base building.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old JRPGs kind of style, but building. Because everything is made up of blocks.
Yeah.
So that's like your materials, and like you make new armor, new weapons, new tools for farmers. You place farms down, all that kind of cool. Kind of, it's like if you got a Zelda game and got Stardew Valley and just kind of smushed them together.
Yeah,
it's pretty much
like that, doesn't it? A little bit of like Minecraft.
Yeah. You can be as creative as you want to be with it.
I guess we're playing that sometime next year, boys.
Nice.
My number one game played in 2020, and probably the game I'll never forget. I'll always try and bring this up any chance I can get, and that is Earthbound.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I streamed this to Aline?
Yes, I do.
I streamed this in January of this year. It feels like years ago.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Earthbound is a Super Nintendo game that is just one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It's hard to put into words. I mean, like what this game is. It is so wacky, but it's got like, I guess it's turn-based combat, but it's just imagine if like Twin Peaks was like a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Earthbound is the best thing I've ever played. It's probably gonna be in my like top games of all time list. It was that good, and I'm hoping one day we'll get a remake, but it's just so much charm. You know, you got the Mr. Saturns, you got the poorly translated English subtitles. It's got everything.
Yeah.
I played this.
It reminds me a lot of Undertale.
Yes, it inspired Undertale. Inspired a lot of games, actually.
Yeah, really.
I played this on the Wii U Virtual Store.
Nice.
So if you do have a Wii U laying around, I think the store's still open. It's not for everyone. And I did have to follow a guide in a lot of places because it does not hold your hand whatsoever. So I didn't know how children played this game. And then I beat it.
Back then we had guidebooks.
Yes. I beat it, and it was the happiest time of my life. I have like such a fond memory. Even though I played this game this year, I have such a fond like nostalgic memory, even though it was only like 11 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, but bless that game. But Lion, we're gonna go to the next part of the podcast, and that is question time. So my question to you, my friend, is what games or game are you looking forward to in 2021?
Well, here's one that was supposed to be out. Dying Light 2.
I was gonna add that, but it doesn't actually have a date, so I'm trying not to get too worked up about it.
Yeah, well, they said it's released 2020 and it's not been out yet, so it's got to be 2021.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it because Dying Light is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Give me
Really
Dying
well
Light
done. The kind of parkour system, the co-op, it's kind of like Dead Island, but done right.
Yeah, 100%. And with Dying Light 2, they're adding heaps of different mechanics at interacting with like different gangs and different groups in the world, and I'm wondering how that'll turn out, like, you know, getting higher reputation with one gang and maybe fighting with another. Very excited. The world looks really good from what they've shown. I am very excited whenever it comes out.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Any other games?
That's the main one, really. I don't think there's actually any that we've heard about this year that are coming out next year.
Whatever comes out on Game Pass.
Yeah, just keep your eye on the Game Pass.
I've got 3 written down here. So my first one is a game called Outriders, which is coming out in February, I believe. And this game looks good. It's a 3-person co-op, 3rd-person shooter. It kind of reminds me of mix between Gears of War and Diablo, with like a little bit of like Destiny and The Division. It looks good. Another game I'm very excited about is Little Nightmares 2, which I think is also coming out in February. I have it written down somewhere. Let me have a look. Little Nightmares 2. Yeah, so Outriders, I believe, is February 3rd. Little Nightmares 2, February 11th. So February is going to be a bloody good year.
Yeah.
And the final game, and probably the one I'm most excited about, Far Cry 6.
Yes, nice.
If you know me at all, you know I'm a big Far Cry fan. I will play anything they throw at me. Far Cry 6 looks bloody good. And it's got bloody Gus Fring from Breaking Bad as the big bad guy. So very excited about that. But we're gonna wrap this podcast up, my dude.
Yeah. So much for the hour.
Yeah, a little bit over an hour. But Lion, before you go, please, do you have any social medias you would like to plug?
Just my YouTube, really. It's nothing much on it, but who knows? There may be something on in the future.
Yeah, I'm big sad you don't make content anymore.
Yeah, work and things, but it might change in the future soon.
If we all subscribe to Lion, maybe he'll come back.
Yes. If enough people subscribe without me producing any videos for me to quit my job, then I'll start making YouTube videos again, I think.
Me too, actually. I'll take that deal as well.
Yeah, if there's one going.
But you can find me over on Twitter at WilburSprinkle, probably the best way to keep up with everything I do. I also stream on twitch.tv /WilburSprinkle. I stream a lot of Sea of Thieves and generally some newer games that pop up. I'll be streaming a lot of Cyberpunk, probably going into the new year. I would like to dive back into some retro games as well, so definitely follow me over there. You can also watch this podcast and also a whole bunch of other things on youtube.com /WilburSprinkle. I'm trying to add a lot more on that channel. This podcast is also on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all the other major podcast players. Give us a good review because it helps us out a lot. The Lion, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure. We'll definitely have to get you back in for an actual episode whenever we can find the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's good memories.
It's been a good year. It's been a weird year. It's been a goodish weird year. I don't know. But thank you, everyone.
It's been a year.
It's been a year that we'll remember. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us, listening. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.